Heya Cryptozens, welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nikodemus and we do crypto news analysis nightly at 10 p.m. And keep in mind, none of this should be considered financial advice. If you can hear my voice, then congratulations are in order because you made it to Friday, February 24th, 2023. And you might want to be careful about how you use your emojis. You use the wrong emoji at the wrong time, you might find yourself giving financial advice, whether you meant to or not. So here's what's going on. Recently, a judge in the Southern District of New York decided that if certain emojis like the rocket ship, the stock chart, and the money bags, that those indicate a, quote, financial return on investment. Now, this was in a court filing. Lisa Braganca is a former branch chief of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. She cautioned people on Twitter about the legal risks associated with using emojis that suggest future gains. In a tweet, she said that a federal court judge had ruled that emojis like the rocket ship, the stock chart, and the money bags have a specific meaning, that of a financial return on investment. Now, she went on to warn users about these emojis and their possible legal consequences of using them. Now, she shared a court filing on Twitter where a federal court judge rejected Dapper Labs' motion to dismiss a complaint. This complaint accuses the NBA Top Shot Moments of violating security laws. In that filing, the judge mentioned that some tweets from the NBA Top Shot account featured emojis that implied financial returns. They noted that even though the word profit was not used, not explicitly, the rocket ship, the stock chart, and the money bags emojis had a clear meaning, financial return on investment. Now, Oscar Franklin Tan is the chief legal advisor of Engine, and he shared his thoughts on the matter. He said that the decision involving Dapper Labs should not create a dangerous rule that would classify NFTs as securities just because of the use of emojis. Tan also stated that the courts should not restrict the creative and expressive nature of NFT communities, because that nature often includes the use of memes and emojis. In his view, such elements are a part of free speech and should be protected. Tan also noted that sneaker resellers also use the same tactics of creating FOMO, or fear of missing out, and they incorporate the same emojis used in the court case. Now, on Twitter, some noted lawyers responded to the judge's decision to allow the lawsuit to continue. U.S. Attorney Jake Chervinsky criticized the ruling. He said that it would be unreasonable for a U.S. court to consider assets on private blockchains as securities. He argued that this could lead to video game developers, ticketing platforms, and travel reward programs being subject to SEC guidelines. Additionally, lawyers discussed the SEC's recent action against Terra on February 17th. Some, like Mike Selig and Justin Browder, expressed concern about the SEC's position. Now, Selig said that anything could be taken as a security under the SEC's loose definitions. Browder described the SEC's actions as wild. And Dapper's troubles don't end there, because they're planning on laying off 20% of their full-time staff to restructure the company. Now, this information comes to us from a letter sent by the founder and CEO, Roham Gargazlu, on Thursday. This action is intended to enhance the organization's focus and efficiency. They also expect it to strengthen its position in the market and better serve its communities. He noted that only certain staff members would be affected, and those who did not receive notification would not be impacted, which is just a crappy way of dealing with that. Tell people, don't leave them guessing. Now, this is the second round of layoffs for Dapper Labs. Last November, the company laid off 22% of its staff, and they cited too rapid growth, which I get. Within 2 years, the headcount had grown from 100 to 600 employees. The CEO explained that the cuts were necessary for the long-term health of Dapper's business and communities. He advised employees to reach out to their team leaders or himself if they have questions or just want to talk. He assured the remaining staff that those who were laid off are being well taken care of. The CEO addressed the recent ruling on the NBA Top Shot lawsuit in a message to Dapper Labs' team. He said that there is misinformation about the nature of the ruling. He clarified that this ruling means that the case goes to discovery without any substantive decision on whether NBA Top Shots are securities. Just means it's going to go to trial. That's all. Now, he thanked the Dapper Labs team for their hard work and their commitment to the company, and he expressed his own commitment to improving how the company operates, learning from the past, and growing Dapper Labs products and communities. You know, I used to live in the state of Montana, Great Falls, Montana specifically. Now, I bring that up because yesterday the Montana State Senate voted 37 to 13 to pass a new bill. This bill aims to safeguard the rights of Bitcoin miners. It also stops utility companies from raising rates just for miners, and it prevents extra taxes on crypto transactions. Furthermore, the bill limits the power of local governments to take action against Bitcoin miners. The Satoshi Fund is a nonprofit group that educates lawmakers on Bitcoin, and they had a hand in writing this bill. In recent months, Bitcoin miners have been facing more pressure from different sources. Many times it's come up on this show. Everybody from Elizabeth Warren to Greenpeace is after proof-of-work miners due to their, quote, high energy usage. During the current crypto winter crisis, the decreases in prices, the increase in inflation have caused great difficulties for even the largest Bitcoin miners. These challenges have been unprecedented. In somewhat related news, Wyoming lawmakers recently passed a bill to protect individuals' private cryptocurrency keys. Positive developments have also come from Hong Kong, where the government has invested to boost Web3 development, reportedly supported by Beijing's traditionally anti-crypto government. That would be a huge change in direction from the current laws in China, making crypto verboten. Once upon a time, a very long time ago, Custodia Bank requested to be a part of the Federal Reserve System. That request was denied by the Federal Reserve. They said that Custodia's application did not meet the necessary requirements. Additionally, a district court has permitted a lawsuit to continue between the two parties. Now, this denial was announced on February 23rd. Custodia Bank applied to become a member of the Fed in 2019, but its application was rejected in January. The central bankers cited an inadequate management framework. Although the board rules allow applicants to request a reconsideration of membership decisions, the Fed denied Custodia's request. And frankly, in this case, Custodia is just collateral damage. The real war is choking the fiat out of crypto. In addition to the wild accusations and overreach by the SEC, the Federal Reserve, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency declared that cryptocurrencies go against safe and sound banking practices. So, Custodia Bank filed a lawsuit against the Federal Reserve for their more than 2-year delay for deciding on their application. That 2-year delay is well in excess of the normal reconsideration period of 5 to 7 days. Days, not years. And it is well in excess of the allowable period of time for the Fed to consider these applications. Now, that limit used to be a year. That is, until a district court judge decided that that limit didn't apply to the review process for master accounts. Now, I wonder why they changed that. This account would have allowed Custodia to access the Federal Reserve payment systems without involving a third-party bank. The Fed denied Custodia's master account application on January 27, 2022, which was well over 2 years after the bank had applied for it in October of 2020. The Fed board's motion to dismiss the lawsuit was denied by a Wyoming district court judge on February 22nd. The Fed tried to dismiss Custodia's lawsuit because the account denial made it irrelevant. Nevertheless, Custodia submitted an amended complaint on February 17th, claiming that the Fed unfairly rejected its application as part of the concentrated and coordinated effort with the Biden administration. Custodia asked the court to overturn this decision. According to Custodia spokesperson Nathan Miller, the complaint focused on whether the Fed even had the discretion to decide master accounts. The judge directed Custodia to submit its first amended complaint by March 1st. The International Monetary Fund is worried about the increase in the use of cryptocurrency. They think it could cause problems for countries' monetary policies and increase their financial risks. The IMF has made some suggestions to member countries about how to deal with this. And they're worried, folks, because the IMF thinks that if people continue to use cryptocurrencies more and more, it will create problems for managing capital flows and lead to financial instability. The IMF said that they reviewed the use of cryptocurrencies and they think that the risks outweigh the benefits. They do not believe that cryptocurrencies should be given legal tender status. Although they don't think that outright bans are the best approach, Some IMF directors think that it should not be ruled out entirely. The IMF is worried about the impact of cryptocurrencies on financial stability, legal risks, and consumer protection, among other things. They have created a set of recommendations to help countries develop a coordinated policy response, including clearer tax treatment for cryptocurrencies. The IMF thinks that member countries should develop better options for cross-border payments. They believe that this would help reduce the risks associated with cryptocurrency. They suggest that regulation should not stifle innovation and that governments could use some of the underlying technologies of crypto to achieve public policy objectives. Several members of the crypto community responded to the IMF's stance against crypto becoming a legal tender. Now, some argue that the establishment will never accept Bitcoin or any other crypto for that matter. They don't want any competition. Now, this is not an uncommon argument. In fact, I agree. When nations realize that fiat currency is there to serve the wishes of the central bankers and not the wishes of the governments or their people, that's when we can move forward. Decentralized finance, decentralized power. On Wednesday, the European Central Bank stated that their main focus for a digital euro would be the ability to make online payments and to send money to friends. They published a slideshow for a meeting which explained that other uses for the digital euro, such as paying taxes, receiving benefit payments, or paying in physical stores, those would come later. The documents emphasized the importance of the digital euro being user-friendly and accessible to everyone. The ECB also highlighted the need to ensure the privacy and security of transactions made with the digital euro. The European Central Bank is among many organizations worldwide considering issuing a central bank digital currency. They plan to make a formal decision later this year, and officials are already discussing technical options. They say that a digital euro must have several uses to meet user needs and market gaps. The ECB's digital euro project team produced a document that said a staggered approach would be more practical, ensuring a smoother end-user payment experience and reducing implementation complexities. That means that introducing new systems gradually would be better than trying to roll everything out all at once. So the first release of a digital euro would be for e-commerce and peer-to-peer payments made among private individuals. The team officials suggested that using the digital euro for paying wages or aligning with decentralized finance should be considered, but in a later phase. This implies that the primary focus for the digital euro will be on online shopping and sending money to friends, with other use cases to be explored in due time. The document produced for that same meeting said that the digital euro for private individuals should be free for basic operations such as onboarding and making payments. However, the document added that new laws might discourage banks from charging merchants too much for its use. They would still charge merchants, but the document says that they should look at the retail transaction fee models and other payment systems. Now, what that tells me is that they intend for the digital euro to be accessible for individual users, but merchants may still be subject to fees. The digital euro's charging arrangements would be similar to those for handling cash. However, existing European Union laws, such as the Single Euro Payments Area and interchange fee regulation, limit the fees that banks and card operators can charge for bank transfers and credit card payments. This suggests that the same regulatory standards will apply to the digital euro as they do for traditional payment methods, ensuring fair pricing for users, which is a choice, one I hope they continue to go with, actually. One of the advantages that crypto offers over paper money is the reduced cost from removing so many people from the infrastructure. You don't have to pay for as many buildings or bank tellers or whatever. So crypto is so much more financially efficient over paper money. That's an advantage that a central bank digital currency could challenge crypto on. However, if they keep charging the same fees for digital as they are for paper, crypto will continue to have the advantage. As we reported last night, Coinbase plans to use Optimism's technology for its Layer 2 solution. The exchange will be part of a core dev on the OP stack, an open source development stack that powers Optimism. Now, don't go buying just because I'm talking about it, but this announcement has caused the price of Optimism's native token to increase significantly. And not just OP. other cryptocurrencies in the Optimism ecosystem as well. Over the past day, OP has gained more than 9%, and over the past 7 days, it's increased by around 16%. Velo is the native token of Velodome Finance. They're a decentralized exchange based in Optimism. Their Velo token has also surged in price. Over the past 24 hours, Velo is increased by more than 25%, and over the past 7 days, it's gone up by over 117%. Sone, the token for Sone Finance's lending protocol built on Optimism, has also seen a significant increase of around 80% in the last 24 hours. Optimism's native token, OP, is currently trading at $3.05. That's a 9.5% increase over the past day. The token was airdropped to early adopters in May of 2021 and has only decreased by 4% compared to its all-time high of approximately $3.19. So it looks like there's a lot of interest in the Optimism ecosystem and its technology. Not financial advice. I didn't even use an emoji. And remember what I said. Coinbase has announced that it will not be issuing a token for its Layer 2 network. Now, frankly, at this point, I do not blame them. That would just be asking for a fight with the SEC. Another one. Especially given the SEC's recent efforts against the cryptocurrency industry and Coinbase specifically. They went after Kraken, accusing them of violating U.S. securities law for their staking service. So I think issuing a token would just be asking for trouble at this point. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. If you enjoyed tonight's show, then please like, follow, and subscribe. Leave a rating or review. And in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night.